Okay, I have all the racks up for the cages, and I have one row of cages put in, the middle row. There'll be a row above them and a row below them as well. It's going to be tight. This cage over here, the nest boxes are going to stick out actually an inch or two beyond the edge of the door. I could put them on this side over here though, couldn't I? That would be a good idea. These guys, I'm going to put visual barriers between their cages so that they're not too close to each other. And this over here, obviously we got a fair amount of room. So there is room for my garbage can, which is absolutely necessary for cage cleaning purposes, etc. There is room for the food bucket right there, and I left a space wide enough here so that I can put a set of shelves back here. I'll probably just go get plastic ones and stick them in the corner right there. So I can put things like paper towels and the candling flashlight and things like that in here as well. And that will be it. There's a dead space back here in the corner. I won't be able to reach any of that space though because I put the cages close to each other. So here's the acid test. I can open all the cages. Oh, I'll have to move the wastebasket to get those cages out, won't I? But that's okay, because the wastebasket is easy to move. So yeah, that's good. And these come out without any problem. Alright, I'm thrilled. 18 cages. And like I said, it's going to be cramped, but if I had a bigger shed or built a bigger shed, I would just fill that up to maximum capacity and it would be cramped again. So we're stopping right here. This is plenty of cages. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks of 3 each, 18 in total. The tops are well below the roof, which I like because I leave ventilation space up at the top even during winter. So it keeps, if they're below it, it keeps them out of direct drafts. And when the weather's warm, it gets hot up there. So it's better to stay away from the very top of the roof. And the bottom cages will be just about the same height off the ground as they were when they were stacked, which is fine because when I sit on my little stool, I look right into those little lower cages. So. And the other news is the top cages, because I've always had trouble looking in the nest boxes on the top cages because the nest boxes were around the side of the cage. But now that they're out front, it's going to be really easy to look in them. So that's going to be nice. So yeah, this is not a lot of space in here. Now imagine it with nest boxes sticking out 8 or 9 inches from the front of each cage. It's going to be even smaller, but that's okay. I will make it work because I like it like that. So yeah, if I put the nest boxes over on this side here, then it won't crowd me and coming in and out of the doorway. So, all right. So now I just have to caulk the seam. We'll put the roof on, and I'll finish hanging all the cages, and basically be done until it's time to start actually populating cages. I do have. This cage needs a cleaning because it was used for a show. But other than that, they're all sparkling clean, just maybe a little dusty or whatever from sitting around. So, okay, so the other thing was I got a one of our regulars on the list wrote me and said that the gray-black beak is an indication of a high-quality bird. And another friend of mine said exactly the same thing, completely independently. I didn't ask her. She just said, oh yeah, that means it's a really good quality bird. Well, there's a difference between a beak and a sear. Let's see, she's looking at me. The brown part is her sear, where her nostril holes are. Her beak is down below that. That's the hard part. So I went back and reviewed all of my 2018 chick videos. All of those nest box cleanings where I pick up every chick and look at it up close. I had almost 50 chicks. So this is, and a lot of different colors, so this is a good indicator. The black beak is a normal developmental phase for these animals. Starting at somewhere between 2 or 3 weeks, their beaks turn black. What it is they're pink when they're tiny because their beaks are actually growing rapidly and are soft. At somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks, their beaks start to harden and they turn black. And they stay that way and slowly fade to the normal kind of orangey color. So that every single chick has that, except cinnamons, which have a light brown, a regular brown instead of black. Dilutes, like, oh, come on, focus. There you go. Like Miss Narcissa over there, have a light gray instead of black. And the double factor spangles have a very light brown instead of black. So clearly a part of that black coloring has to do with melanin. But it is a normal developmental phase and they slowly outgrow it. Like this little girl right here, she will look at us. This is Freya. Where'd she go? There she is. She's not looking at me. You can't really see it because the thing is focusing on the wire instead. But anyway, so the beak, the dark beak, in and of itself means absolutely nothing except that you've got a baby. That's also true of many other pitocines. So, lovebirds, babies have black beaks. And I'm not sure about cockatiels, but probably. I haven't seen a baby cockatiel in a while. So that is normal, and all of them do it, and the only thing that alters it is if the bird is hypomelanistic because of one mutation or another, in which case it's still there, but it's a lighter. The cere, the part with the nostrils that is black, as it was on Thor right there until it clarified, like a couple of days ago, that is not standard or typical. Every single one of Bond and Breezy's babies have that, but not all birds do. And after looking through, my theory was maybe that dark cere was related to a violet factor. It is not. I looked through all of my, let me back out here a little bit, videos, and it seems to be completely random. The only thing I see that seems to be linked to it is a bird with a black beak will tend to have very dark markings. The black on its body will tend to be darker. So, this is Apollo. He did not have a black cere. His brother, Dionysus did, and Dionysus has a lot of black spots flecking on his head. His black markings are heavily dark. This little guy, Socrates, had a black cere. His brother, Boo-Bird, did not. Boo-Bird's not looking very good. I think I made him sick with the quarantine. He's not very happy. I might have to take him in. We'll see. We'll see. But right now I don't see a huge difference except that Socrates does have a better mask than Boo-Bird. His spots are bigger and his mask is longer than Boo-Bird. Yeah, you're not looking good, huh, bud? I may have to take you in. So look at, that is Apollo. Look at Apollo's markings on his wings. They're pretty light, tend to be leaning towards body color already, even though he's still a young bird. But if you look at Miss Stella over here, the blue one, she's spangle, her markings are still quite dark. Stella had a black cere. Apollo didn't. So it seems to be related to the darkness of the black on their wings. Oops, I'm floating here. But you see how clear her markings are. Now, Stella had a black cere. Her brother, who doesn't have a name yet, is right there, did not have a black cere, and his markings are much lighter. So the black cere seems to be related to the level of melanin But to make it backwards, Bluebird here has better markings than his uncle Aquinas. And Aquinas, well, let's go. I'll show you Aquinas. Excuse me. Okay. Where is Aquinas? Hi, fat birdie. Where's Aquinas? There he is. And Aquinas, right there, his markings are very light, almost all body color, but Aquinas had a black sear when he was a baby. So I'm not 100% sure. Seems to be related a little bit to markings and stuff. So my conclusion after looking at all babies from last year is that a black beak is a normal developmental phase for these animals. It sets in somewhere between the 2nd and 3rd week, and it fades away after about 6 or 8 weeks. It's part of the growth and hardening of the beak. A black sear is not normal. It shows up sometimes and not others. The fact that all of Breezy and Bond's babies have black sears is unusual. Usually only one chick will have it in a clutch, or maybe 2, and then another one will be a pink sear. So I don't really know what that's about. And I don't really know whether, when they say a black beak is an indicator of a high-quality bird, they couldn't possibly be talking about the actual beak, because they all have black beaks, unless they have a color mutation that lightens it, and then it goes gray or brown. So maybe they're talking about the sear? I don't know. I'm going to ask around and see what I can find out.